Lights! Okay. I've turned on the lights. It's a little harsh. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little harsh. I'm gonna reposition the light. Well, hey. That's the problem with getting new gear, everybody, is that you just never stop. You replace one piece and then you realize, oh, this piece is now perfect, but it's hooked up to a thing that is not equipped to take it, and so now I need to replace this piece, and so on and so forth. And so I've ended up buying a new capture card, which is something I did not necessarily want to do, but it was seemingly the right move in terms of fixing some slight incompatibilities in the capture setup for all the console games I'm streaming. That's the thing that at the end of the day is maybe the dumbest part of it, of just like, oh right, I'm almost always stream stuff on the PC anyway, so what the fuck am I doing? But it is also very handy for a lot of other things, like having the MiSTer hooked up for streaming, and also having my VCR hooked up, which has been rad. I have been going through and capturing. Well, I've it's all hooked up. I've captured a couple of videotapes. I've mainly been going through the videotapes so that I can throw them all away. Because most of them are episodes of Mystery Science Theater. Most of my tape collection is probably recorded episodes of Mystery Science Theater, but like all that stuff is online. And I'm guessing that even the ones that are in bad quality online are probably better than if I were to capture these VHS tapes. Though I suppose I could now upscale these VHS tapes to 4K, and maybe my capture would be, because some of these episodes of Mystery Science Theater that you find online were started being distributed online a very long time ago, through the DAP project, when standards were extremely different, and so and file sizes and code rates and everything else, and so it's a it's maybe not the freshest in code possible. So I don't know if people have, like, I know some of those episodes are mad old, the encodes floating around online. So it may be a situation where if I were to do mine, though I don't know, mine now at this point, I think are second generation VHS dubs, because I recorded them and then I would copy them to another tape to pause out the commercials. And then I could fit 3 episodes per tape, and so it's not like it's in SP, or all these are recorded in SLP, the lowest quality VHS recording standard. So yeah, I'm guessing that there's probably already other people out there that are better equipped to do all this stuff, and so I can probably take those tapes and throw them away. That'll be nice. Throwing a bunch of things away. And so yeah, so I don't know. There's been a bunch of weird videotapes that I'm looking forward to looking at. And I've been capturing them through the RetroTink 4K, which is how this image is being brought to you, coming from the MiSTer into the RetroTink 4K, into a series of splitters and switches, and then into a capture card from the Elgato Corporation. This is the wrong. Okay, I can tell because the font is wrong. I was like, okay, something bad happened. I leave this thing. I leave the keyboard to this thing in front of the TV, and it's at a perfect height for the kids to just mash on. And so oftentimes when I return to the MiSTer, I find that it has been tampered with, just by a result of them mashing on the keys. but that's been fine. I don't know. It's not that big a deal. Let's see here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 remote controls here in front of me for all of this stuff, and okay, we don't have HDR on. That's fine. We don't really want HDR for streaming because no one can see it. We could turn some of this other stuff on, but I don't. We don't really need to. Yeah, there's a new. Yes, there is in fact. You're correct. There is a new. So the core of the MiSTer is this FPGA device known as the DE10 Nano, and it is primarily sold at a really low rate because it's primarily sold for like educational purposes. The idea being that like, oh, this is a good starter FPGA for people learning the ropes on this particular stuff, but also, you know, that cheap price. Most FPGAs are significantly more expensive than that, and so as a result, it's kind of been the thing that the MiSTer developer gravitated towards originally. And the price on it has gone up over the years, and you bolt on a bunch of stuff to it. Basically, you get a USB hub so you can hook in more controllers and keyboards and such. You get an I/O board so you can have. So you can more easily go out to a CRT if that's how you want to do it. There's a digital I/O board that is different than that one, and that's the one I'm currently using because so I'm going. It's HDMI out of the MiSTer, but it is still technically, I guess, doing analog video. It's doing direct video, and so it's a different mode that scales differently and so on and so forth. I'm not going to describe all of it because I only halfway understand some of that stuff. But point being, as the price on that main board has gone up, the price for a full MiSTer, can be $400 or $500, and for kind of the full stack these days, and that's pricey. That's a PlayStation 5's worth of money into your tiny little box, and some people will find that to be totally worth it, and some people will not. And so someone has decided to clone that main board, to make a clone of that DE10 Nano, that they will be able to. It'll be, to hear them tell it, it is functionally identical to the original part, but they're able to make it for about 99, or able to sell it, I guess, for about $99. It's not ready just yet. And so that will theoretically bring the price of a lot of this stuff down, and make it more attainable for more people if they want to get into this. And I think that's pretty awesome. Remains to be seen. The thing's not out yet, and who knows, but so far so good. Okay, I'm going to try testing this setup now because I rewired a lot of things so that I could theoretically hear this stuff. Is this not going to show up on the monitor here? Is the MiSTer going to be the thing that doesn't, for whatever reason, doesn't scale properly? No, there it is. Okay, it just took a while to show up. Okay. Let's just try to load something up here and make sure it's gonna work. Something easy. Okay, I can hear it in my headphones. That's good. And you're hearing it as well. Okay, good. I've got it a little low, so hopefully it's not too crazy in your ears compared to my voice. That's always the hardest thing to balance. This is a great game. And this hack of it, especially, I think does a really good job of colorizing the game. And you know the redrawn graphics, I think are pretty good. This is maybe the best Mario game because they gave him a power ball that bounces around on the walls of things. And, you know, comes back around again. You know, it's a time-tested concept. Oh. But this is, so Game Boy has traditionally been one of the platforms when I'm streaming it through the MiSTer where the audio has, will get choppy. It'll get stuttery somehow. And it's something that I can't pick up anywhere in my chain. All of it sounds fine here, but what's getting, you know, put into the recording and what you're hearing ends up sounding totally fucked. And because I'm most often doing it with, you know, relatively obscure games that no one has seen before, everyone just thinks like, oh, this platform just sounds like shit. You know, like whether it's an old Game Boy game or even older computers, people will just think that that's the way it's supposed to sound. And so no one in chat ever says, hey, it's fucked up. And so that was a problem I was having with a lot of streaming from the MiSTer for a while there, but I've changed so much about the setup now that I don't know if it'll happen again. The last time it happened was with the Atari 400 Mini, and it's, you know, it's probably some sample rate thing with HDMI or, you know, some weirdly specific mismatch there that. But yeah, this is this is a fantastic game. It's maybe aged a little weird compared to some of the other Mario games because the feel of it is a little strange. The way Mario moves, the way his head hits blocks, is just a little funky. But I still really like it. I don't know. It's at the time, it was nice and different. But there are things about the way Mario moves that feel a little odd. But the music is so good in this game. The music is so good in this game. Look at that. Mario learned from the master of the Powerball. I think you could take, if you wanted to take this game and make it a Mr. Do ROM hack, I think that would be that'd be really neat. Ah! Remember that album they put out with fucking hot remixes of the music from this game and how good that was? Ugh! Ugh! What? Oh, one of those falling blocks, but I caught it, I guess, before I fell. Anyway, I kind of just want to start on that. One of the interesting things with, you know, because of the way this is scaled, is a lot of the menus on the MiSTer will look weird when you fire it up. But sorry, I was actually going to stick with Game Boy there for a minute. 6 golden coins. This game also feels weird, but feels weird in a different way than the first Super Mario Land. Like, this is a game that I think if they were to... Well, I don't know. Maybe you would lose too much of the feel. I feel like this is a game that if you were to, like, remake it... and give it, you know, the more modern Mario feel... Is this the first Mario game where they made the pipes, like, physically connect? But I think, you know, like, again, it's the feel of it. There's just something weird about the way he runs and moves, and in some ways that makes it a little harder to go back to. But also, if you push down on the D-pad, you do the spin jump, and that's pretty rad. Where's this music? I don't know, like, especially in the early days of Mario being a thing, these games felt like totally different, and that was awesome. Yeah, it had such a different feel, like different enemy types in the first game especially. We don't have the 6 golden coins. Oh, brutalized. It's the great music. Just you know, and because the game's not in color, they have to like redesign Mario a little bit to so you know he's got firepower here. But yeah, someone was asking what I thought of the Game Boy. I loved the Game Boy, man. I got it when I was in junior high. And I played a lot of games that are bad. I don't know. I love the Game Boy. A lot of the games are bad. if that makes any sense. Gotta ring that bell, baby. But yeah, nah, we don't want it. I'm walking away. So the MiSTer core for Game Boy is if I remember right, it I feel like it does a really good job of replicating the original Game Boy screen and that kind of little drop shadow-ish kind of look. And so you can turn that off, but I think it looks better with it. You can invert all the colors if you're a real crazy. I wonder if I probably don't need to buffer it, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, this is nice. It's coming through on all three screens. It seems stable, which is nice. So I ended up picking up whatever the current, the expensive, the whatever Elgato's newest internal capture card is, which is it's the. What is it? This is just the 4K Pro, because the other one, the previous one was called the 4K 60 Pro, but this will go over 60, but only in pass-through. It won't capture. Like there's a bunch of there's a bunch of weird limitations with this capture card where it doesn't actually capture everything that you would want it to capture, but it's better with pass-through than the previous card is. And so the benefits are kind of small in some situations, but also with the stuff I'm trying to do with having everything appear on my TV and on this monitor in front of me and be captured with the splitting and everything else that I kind of need to do here, that card seems to be helping ever so slightly. It's not, the situations where it will help are not always the most noticeable, but oh geez, that fucker just shot at me anyway. He doesn't care where I'm standing, nothing. Oh man, right on a fish. Fuck these guys. Good enough, whatever. Anyway, this is a fantastic game as well. I have not played this game in a very long time. I played Super Mario Land 1 start to finish last year sometime and had a great time doing it. But I have not, I just haven't come back to this game really ever. I need to, this is a weird way to run this. I normally run this via, I normally SSH into the MiSTer to do this, but we're going to quickly update it here because I think there's a new version of the Apple II core this morning. There it is. A new Coco 3 core. Aw, dip. Some of these are hard to kind of mess with because I never had access to a real Coco 3, and so I don't really know what you need to do. And look at this. Look at this. It's like, okay, well, what's in slot 2? The Coco SDC. What's that? I have no idea. Okay, we can load some drives here. And, and then you have to type something to get the game to load, and I don't remember what it is for this particular computer. So, so who knows? Obviously you can look all that stuff up, but, no, 423, is that? Okay, so the Apple II core did get updated relatively recently, but there's a slightly updated version of it that's out this morning. It's like color palette stuff. It's nothing massive. I just, this is probably still the best way to play Apple II games as far as, I mean, I don't have a real Apple II, but, Hmm. The weird thing about the Apple II is that it had analog joysticks, and so every single game when you launched it, you had to go through this calibration, and everyone wrote their own little calibration thing, and they were always strange, and sometimes you'd fuck it up and have to restart the entire game. Oh, he pushed it over on top of me. That's devious. Look, the Apple II is not the best sound hardware in the business. Ah. How much faster it goes when there's no enemies spawned yet. It's a chore to control because I have to use the analog stick to move. Oh, I guess I can. Well, I mean, I guess they do map it to the D-pad, so I should just use that. Any cutscene? I was curious if the cutscene existed. Very good. Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Anyway, I don't intend to infringe on the territory of the world's greatest Mr. Do streamer, so I'm not going to play too much of this. I am merely a bystander, an amateur, a lover of the sport, but certainly not good enough to play it professionally. Oops. Yeah, there's a story going around that Steve Jobs was really into video games, and then he saw what they did on the Apple II, and then was like, nope, video games are... Have you seen this clown with the ball? And basically saw how inferior his hardware was at playing such an amazing video game, and said, no, we'll never do video games. There are cases, and I don't think the MiSTer Well, let's look. Okay, so there's the Mockingbird, if I remember correctly, as someone who's never actually owned an Apple II, the Mockingbird is an audio add-on board that could be used for better sound, but it did, obviously not every game supported it. All right. Let's see what other what's a good Apple II? Portal. Everyone loves Portal, right? Oh, this Rambo game came out. I need to know if this is the same game or not. Yeah, Lemonade Stand that's the definitive Apple II game. Lemonade has retro achievements. Getting Apple II retro achievements is kind of a weird chore because not a ton of like RetroArch doesn't play Apple II stuff, I guess, but and so you have to go download like a custom build of Apple Win if you want to do that. I assume it's reading a disc. But yeah, you can get retro achievements in Lemonade Stand, which is I think is incredible. But also I had a hard time. I sat down going like, oh, I'll knock all these out because and then had like a few of them that I couldn't really get. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll come back to this. Pinball Construction. Yeah, Pinball Construction set is amazing. I mostly played it on the oh, is this a Rambo text adventure? What? The day Trotman, your former CO, released you from prison and put you under the authority of some government agent called Murdoch. Yeah. Our ground contact is Co. The parachute explodes open. This is sexy stuff. I'm not going to play this, but I am happy to read their really overwritten intro. Cool. Oh. Do we get to win this time? Is it? Is that the first sign of jungle fever? Let's try this. This probably won't work. So this core. Yeah, this is what it looks like. Yeah, for whatever reason, the DOS, the like PC core doesn't like the direct video stuff, the RetroTink stuff, I guess. Or maybe there's a setting that I have boned up. There's a way around it. I had it configured differently. But yeah. I don't know. The rest of it, it's kind of like, hey, here's stuff like the N64 and And that stuff works pretty well. You can play a big burger. This is the best N64 game. Because, I mean, you know, it does what it advertises. You look at it, it says Big Burger. And what do you do in it? You build a big burger. I think if we were to stop right now, I think someone would say, that's a big burger. But the good news is, we don't have to stop. It doesn't advertise things like audio. It doesn't need it. This game speaks for itself. Mm-hmm. This burger's getting built. Got in my own head about it. Decided to stop and you know, take it slow for a sec and try and build a burger. Oh! It's a big burger. And it runs at 60 frames a second. Thank you, frame counter. There is a place to turn that off. Oh, yeah, big burger. No, but you know, it'll play all the hits. You know, Mace the Dark Age. You want to play Mace the Dark Age? No? Too bad. I think, you know, a lot of people say a lot of things about the N64. They say things like the N64 is good, actually. And I think that they are forgetting a lot of the games that came out on the N64. And that a lot of the games that came out on the N64 are terrible video games. All right, let's... A lot of pleasant noises, a lot of pleasant menus. What do we got here? Kick, strong, quick. Quick, strong, kick, and then that's also kick, and that's also strong, and that's also quick. Okay, so... But maybe those are punches and kicks, so maybe it is a 6-button type of job. No, did I fuck it up? No. Let me out of this menu. Let me out. Oh, okay, there. Okay. Lord Demos and his staff. Wow, we got Ragnar and Al Rashid. Running out of time. Thanks for putting a timer in your home version of your game.
Versus Mordo's Call. Round 1, fight.
Okay, so it appears to be a 3-button game.
The Executioner.
Dun, 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 dun.
Round 2, fight.
It's so sluggish, the inputs. Like, just even the light attacks take forever to come out.
The Executioner wins. The Executioner versus Koyasha.
Also, the sample rate, you know, I feel like audio on the N64 is maybe my... I love this. Did the other stage have a border around it like this? What did I... Like, hey, we if we want this game to run at a decent speed, we can't have it be full screen. I mean, that'd be ridiculous. But every bit of audio is such a low sample rate, it just sounds like you have cotton balls stuffed in your ears. Yeah, what's up?
The Executioner wins.
It's like a chore to listen to it, you know?
The Executioner.
The Executioner!
Daria.
The Executioner!
Round 1, fight.
No move list? Bummer.
Daria wins. Round 2, fight. Win. Round 3, fight.
Why does every hit sound like a dodgeball? Like a red rubber dodgeball bouncing? Oh,
The executioner wins. The executioner versus.
I will flay you and hang you in my dungeon. Iron and steel are no match for the mystic orb. I always say this. Yeah, can we unlock Pojo? I don't know. Is it bad that I know that? Let's see if these work. Sometimes that stuff is a little finicky. It looks like it's working.
The executioner wins. Round 2, fight.
People are talking about Mortal Kombat 4 in the chat. MK4 is not a great game. Oh, well, I was never going to look up the fatality. Nice nipple rings. I would much rather play Mortal Kombat 4 than this, that's for sure.
The executioner versus the executioner. Round 1, fight.
Did I actually write about the sound effects that way when this game came out? Jeez. Yeah. Well. Ooh.
Satisfactory. The executioner wins. Round 2, fight.
Yeah, it's, hey, it feels bad. I don't know. But it runs really well on the MiSTer. That's pretty awesome. So I bought I just bought, a cable from MiSTeraddons.com that will let me hook up a regular N64 controller to this. I bought this to do N64 with, and it's actually been pretty good because it has 6 buttons on the face, so you can kind of use the other ones as C buttons, and it has an analog stick, and then I'm kind of using, you know, it's got 4 shoulder buttons, so I can kind of map a Z button that way. Or no, actually, because the way the buttons are duplicated, I can't map the Z button up there. I think I have like L3 mapped to Z. But yeah, when that cable shows up, I had to order. So if you remember last Friday, we tried to play Street Cop for the NES, and I realized that that is a power pad game. And there's no easy way to emulate the power pad, right? I mean, so I had to go to eBay and buy a power pad, and then I had to go to MiSTer Add-ons and buy a snack cable for the NES so that I can hook the power pad up to the MiSTer so that we can play Street Cop. Look at how foggy this background is, even though like it's not that big of an area. Like if we get closer to those walls, yeah, they kind of start to draw in, don't they? Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I think the problem I have now is that this game audio is way too loud in my headphones. It's probably a good volume for you, but it is fucking cranked over here, man. And so I'm probably talking louder than I normally would. Guy's hard to please, you know? It's kind of neat that we can fight in the water out here. That's interesting. I'll give it that. I executed her by kicking her in the face. There's no honor in torture.
Round 1, fight.
Well, I guess we're probably deep enough into this that I should probably just finish it, huh? Just the moves don't feel good together. That like it is, yeah, just a. The way things combo feel kind of bad.
The executioner. Round 2, fight. Satisfactory.
Jesus.
The executioner wins.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know why Midway. I think some of this happened because this may have been Atari, because Midway bought Atari. And so I think it may have been a situation where like this game came out in arcades from Atari. No. And then anyway, Midway bought Atari. They bought the Atari arcade division. And so suddenly Midway had even more like bloody fighting games. They already had too many. They only needed Mortal Kombat, but suddenly it was like, what about Biofreaks and War Gods? And War Gods is fucking terrible. And I don't know what was going on at Midway that like all these other teams of people felt like we should make our own shitty, like a really shitty Mortal Kombat game. Ours has a 3D button and it lights up. You're like, okay, it also sucks. And then yeah, Biofreaks has jetpacks. You're like, okay, it also is terrible. And then they came into the Mace the Dark Age business a little more honestly by acquisition, I guess, but this guy seems like a dick.
The executioner wins.
Only 2 more spikes.
The executioner versus Ragnar. Round 1, fight.
Yeah, these sound effects are really bad. I'm really... Also, Jesus Christ, Ragnar. Music getting way more intense here. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't think to check if there was a cheat for fatalities. Yeah. Z button for death blow. Let's try it. If we get the opportunity.
Round 2, fight.
Ah! This dude is just rolling and cutting me and then occasionally saying Valhalla! I want to see some fucking cash games. I want to see some 4 a.m. hotel suite streams of fucking Mace the Dark Age at EVO this year. I want to see all the latest Mace tech. I can't even... It's a good thing we're cheating.
executioner versus Lord Demos. Round 1, fight.
Oh, if I think the death blow cheat just means if I click in, if I hit the Z button, this dude dies. It is not a fatality cheat. Burn! Let's check and see if there's something else. Yeah, big heads, good. Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
The executioner wins.
I had no idea the soundtrack to Mace the Dark Age went so hard.
The executioner versus Grendel.
Oh, shit. Look at this cinematic. Look at this amazing little scene here for the boss fight. Oh my god. Ah!
Round 1, fight.
It's like real life. For a second there, I was like, do I have a VR headset on? What? It's so real. Yeah.
The executioner wins. Round. Beautiful.
It's like, damn, dude, you did a 5-hit combo? Six? Call the cops. Oh my god. He blew up. There's a replay of me standing here.
The executioner wins.
Was that not the final boss? Oh my god. You got 6,000 points.
Asmodeus.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Another hot cutscene. This should be a quick time event. Hot frame rate.
Round one, fight.
What the f- It's just like a devil worm that sticks out of the ground and... Oh man, this game has it all. It's pretty systems heavy. It's got counterattacks and...
The executioner wins. Round two, fight.
And the only good weapon-based fighting game is Samurai Showdown 2. And I guess Soul Calibur, but none of the sequels. And also not Soul Edge. I like Soul Edge, but it's not a great game. Oh shit. I turned my axe into a magic wand, and I'm going to make a world of snow. And I've got 7,000 points. Read about me in your book. You know, it has been said that when the Executioner defeated Asmodeus, wails of misery could be heard all across the continents. For all living creatures knew that their way of life, as bad as it may have been, was about to get worse. In its place was a world brimming with misery and indescribable pain. A world where every man, woman, and child knew the sting of the barbed lash. Usually got to pay good money for that. The sharp report of joints snapping on the rack, and the horrible, shapeless pain of the Iron Maiden. Yeah, we couldn't edit this. We couldn't get it down to 2 pages. The writer refused to budge. Refused the copy editing pass that we put on it just to desperately try to fit it on a couple. And then also, here's more text over here. What? Welcome to the new hell, everybody. It's not so bad. The new hell doesn't taste as good as the original one. And hell, they put out Hell Classic, but even Hell Classic doesn't taste the same way that it did originally. Back to this frickin' book. But like War Gods is fucking worse. Well, let's find out. Let's find out. In my mind, War Gods is definitely a worse game than that. Oh, we got an error message, but let's see. Let's see if it works.
Midway presents War Gods.
Ha! Pretty sensible, and yeah, I mean, fits with the tone.
Excellent.
Usually you got to pay good channel points to hear that sound effect. Okay, low punch, high punch, block 3D, low kick, high kick. I mean, I should probably... Why am I doing this? All right, why do I care enough to... That needs to be high kick. That needs to be low kick. And then this could be whatever. I guess they could be roll left, roll right. And then that's the 3D button and that's the block button. Okay, sure. Crazy time! No. Kabuki Joe.
Warhead, you are chosen. Round.
I'm going to turn off this error message. That's just in... Where is that? There.
1. Begin.
And see, if we're holding down the 3D button, we can just walk around. Which is, So this game's weird because it also, like, in some ways plays like a really shitty Mortal Kombat knockoff. And so the idea that Midway would make this, and I think at the time there was like some thought of like, oh, was this like a test bed for Mortal Kombat 4, and where did they want to test out the technology? But like, this isn't really the Mortal Kombat team that did this game, and so it's really weird. I mean, it says easy fatalities, but I don't know.
Warhead wins.
I don't know what I need to do still to do them.
Round 1. Begin.
At one point, I shot some missiles. This is just that lady that comes out with Karrion Kross.
Warhead wins.
Push all buttons to trigger fatalities? Okay, all right.
Round 2. Begin.
Okay, so looks like down, back, low punch. Hitting all 4 buttons didn't seem to do it there.
Wins.
But maybe you have to be at the right, maybe you still have to get the distance right.
Round 1, begin.
Look at this roll. Look at this dive roll. Look at this. Look at how high in the air it goes. Yeah!
Wins.
They should put Warhead into Mortal Kombat 1 as an assist character and make him like the worst possible. Like, he should be the Dan of Mortal Kombat. By the way, I've got a knife, he says.
Warhead wins. Perfect victory. Fatality.
Oh boy. I take back everything I said. This game's incredible. What an amazing video game.
Round 1, begin.
I mean, I guess Capcom had Darkstalkers and had other fighting games that were ostensibly very Street Fighter-esque, and so maybe that's what Midway was thinking, is that like, hey, what if we had another one of these? And eventually they would, you know, kind of get there with Injustice, but the idea of having 2 series is...
Warhead wins. Perfect victory. Round 2, begin.
But I remember this game always just feeling bad, and in arcades, the 3D button was a very clunky thing. I like that it takes all of the missiles to blow him up. Like the first one doesn't do anything.
Wins. Perfect victory. Fatality.
What a terrible... I don't know.
Round
I'm having fun.
1,
This is not a good game. Yeah, I guess, yeah, one missile wouldn't stop a war god.
Excellent. Warhead wins. Perfect victory. Round 2, begin.
I'm just having trouble finding any other specials other than that missile. blow this guy up. It's very stupid. The thing is, when you think about, like, Mortal Kombat 3 blowing up the earth and everything, like, you know, the idea of a tiny mushroom cloud blowing a guy up, you're like, yeah, no, that would fit. That's maybe the right kind of goofy. This guy's just Cyrax and Sector. Oh, look at that.
Warhead wins. Perfect victory. Round 2. Begin.
Okay, so if I'm holding down the 3D button when I do the missiles, he does this little circular version of it. Back up. Oh, man. No one wants to hit up. Oh, I gotta get further away. Oh.
Warhead wins. Perfect victory. Round 1. Begin.
Ah, the net. Looks like if you double tap block, you do this little shove.
Warhead wins. Perfect victory. Round 2. Begin.
Let's blow this man up.
Warhead wins. Perfect victory. Fatality. Round 1. Begin.
Does it just not even show these guys' names anywhere other than the character select screen? Fighter's Destiny is a pretty decent fighting-like game on the N64. If I had to pick one, that would probably be the one I would pick. Oh, why can't I do my thing? I have to turn the audio down on this. It's making me crazy. It's so loud in my headphones. Actually, I need to fix that before I lose my mind. Switch this monitor back so that I can see the... I should map this to a knob. I'll do that. You know what? I'm just going to do that instead of... because that'll be actually faster. Okay, we don't want to monitor game. We want to monitor... Oh, is there no... Why is that not on the list? Why can't I change this audio source? That's a bummer. Okay, well, now we've wasted a bunch of time. So let's fix it the right way. Mixer, console, we'll bring that. Oh, wait, I can't. No, you're getting it from the capture card, so I can lower it without it affecting you. You don't get audio from that, only I do. Okay. This is much more manageable for me. I've lowered it to 50% volume in my headphones. And now I can barely hear it. I probably need to turn it actually back up a little bit. God dang it. We'll go with 65%. That'll be nice. But yeah, Fighter's Destiny is kind of a martial arts style fighting game for the N64, and it's pretty decent. Maybe we'll have to play that. I don't know.
Round 1, begin.
I like that her axe gets tiny as it disappears. You see it shrink in her hand. Oh God. Got to learn Warhead's 10-hitter, you know, if you really want to compete.
Warhead wins. Perfect victory. Round 2, begin.
I remember seeing this for the first time in an arcade, or seeing the arcade version for the first time. I don't remember where I would have been. You know, kind of knowing that it was coming and just thinking, God, this is... what a fucking terrible video game. Like, just from the get-go, just being like, nope. Like, this is the most fucking trashy bootleg Mortal Kombat. Like, you know, there were a lot of developers out there making just like violent fighting games because they thought that was going to be the way to be successful. And so when Midway made one of them also, it was always just like, why? Like, fuck this. This is garbage. I'd rather play Time Killers or some of the other fucking trash that came out. Just gonna keep doing that.
Warhead wins. Perfect victory. Round 2, begin.
Oh, uh-oh. Oh, it's brutal. Time to blow myself up.
Warhead wins. Perfect victory. Fatality.
What fucking abomination is this? In a much smaller stage with this spinning apparatus around us. This is where the war gods settle their most brutal conflicts. I want to do it. There we go. It's back forward in both kicks, and it's like, there we go. Sometimes it just wasn't coming out there.
Warhead wins.
Warhead.
Victory. Round 2. Begin.
Is this a creature? Is this what a BBL is with here with the big, with his big? Now we're gaming. Oh man.
Warhead wins. Perfect victory. Round 1. Begin.
Yay.
Warhead wins. Perfect victory.
Perfect victory.
Begin.
Whoa! I like that it lets me move back and forth during that part to like make it like kind of confusing. I got it. I got the War God rock.
Warhead wins. Perfect victory.
Oh, Warhead is vanquished Exor. One in hand, or in hand. He has saved the planet for now, but there will be new enemies to fight, new fights to win. Because the time, the place, and the cause. Okay, well, all right. Yeah, we didn't have enough cartridge space to store these end images in a Tim Rogers production. Nice, congratulations. Couldn't store a higher quality JPEG so that the text was actually readable. Very ominous music here. Neil Castro. Everyone loves that guy. A Matt Booty production.
War Gods.
Here's 5 seconds of a fatality. What happened to Midway? They went out of business and Warner Brothers bought it all. That's why Mortal Kombat is now published by Warner. And that's kind of the only that's literally the only Midway franchise that Warner fucks with, right? I mean, they don't touch any of that other stuff. Paperboy. Oh yeah, they did that Rampage movie. Sure. I guess that counts. I guess that has to count. War Gods is yeah. I never thought much of War Gods. I still don't. I'm sure it's one of those things that if you really dug into it, you'd find like 2 or 3 little bits of it that you go like, actually, this is kind of neat. But like the way that these 10-hit combos come out reminds me of the brutalities in like Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Like it all just has such bootleg MK vibes across the board. Is there a way for me to... We'll just reboot real quick. I gotta crack this open before it gets too much warmer. Like I said yesterday on the podcast, I ended up going to a different store and they had different energy drinks, and they had a bunch of Rockstar. We were talking not that long ago about how it seemed like Rockstar was getting harder to find, but they had a bunch of it, including these small cans of Rockstar Focus, which I have never seen before. This has 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is a pretty good amount for a small can. It also has lion's mane in it. Whatever the fuck that is. That's it. The 0 sugar lion's mane and 200 milligrams of caffeine. 0% juice. I don't know what to make of this. This is orange pineapple, which sounds like it'd be good. It's a mushroom. Oh, so this is like the Ric Flair drinks then, which I have two. There's still 2 of them behind this. These boxes here are the other 2 flavors of the Ric Flair drink, and I've been afraid to try them. This is okay. It's a it tastes, it's very orangey, pineapple-y. I kind of wish it was a little stronger. Maybe a little sweeter or something like that. That would help. But this isn't bad. Let's get it on the list. And then get back to work. The important work of playing these miserable N64 games. I gotta get the list up here. You can go to energy.guard.bike if you ever want to see the full energy drink list. Yeah, Ric Flair was going to put that restaurant over. I was going to put this restaurant. What a piece of shit. Ric Flair, I remember being one of the early people that when everyone on the internet started using wrestling talk, such as putting someone over or the rub or, you know, any kind of insider lingo, I remember Ric Flair being one of the people that was like, that's don't fucking do that. Like, do not do. I'll hit you in the face. Like, don't fucking come at me with this shit. This is not okay for people who are not involved in wrestling to use this talk. Which at the time, I would say I kind of agree with. You know, there's no, you can't put the fucking genie back in the bottle on that, so it's already way too late. But to hear Ric Flair himself being fucking drunk at a fucking restaurant saying he was going to put a restaurant over, brother. Oh, how the mighty fall. We got to get these energy drink rankings up here. Ric Flair is a really good role model. Rather an like the opposite of what I said. When you see Ric Flair be Ric Flair in situations like that, in public situations, like it makes me think, like, there's a part of me that wants to get back. There's a part of me that wants to drink. That would love to be out at a social function having some drinks. And sometimes I think, like, oh, I should go get some 40s and just drink them here at the house. And I don't ever do that, because the rationale in my head is like, well, why would I drink alone? That's crazy. And also, if I'm drunk and what if one of the kids gets hurt and I have to drive to the hospital and I can't because I'm fucking an idiot. And so there's a Boy Scouts fucking stay ready type thing in the back of my head that always just says, like, no, don't fucking do that. But then you see Ric Flair out there just being fucking wasted all the time. And then I think, you know what? It's actually kind of, it's probably a good thing ultimately that the pandemic happened. Well, no, I mean, but one of the side effects being that, like, I haven't had anything really, much of anything to drink in the last 4 years, coming up on 5 years, I guess. Like, I have those. Someone sent me some was it dragon soup, the United Kingdom energy drinks with alcohol in them, and they're out in my garage, and I look at them and I go, like, fucking yeah. And I want to have those, but like it's just the baggage that comes with like, all right, now I'm drinking this 13% fucking thing and I'm gonna get a headache and ugh. Always just kind of puts me off of it. But I do want to try those. I really want to try those really bad. So I would never say like I would never say that I don't drink. I would never say that I quit drinking, because I think that would be, to me, that's more of a conscious effort sort of thing. And also, like, I think there will come a day when I get back out on the road a little bit and go to some more events and, you know, maybe go to PAX again. And I would certainly have some drinks in a hotel bar at PAX, you know, like I'm not, yeah, I guess, like, yeah, it's not like, so some people in the chat said, good job. I'm like, yeah, I mean, no, it was not a thing that took, effort really on my part, which is nice to know in some other weird ways, because there is so much addiction in parts of my family that, like, that's something I've always been worried about, you know. I'm just like, oh geez, I could see a situation where, you know, one could fall off the deep end or whatever. And I'm probably like genetically down to fucking ruin my life. So it was a nice thing to discover, of just like, I could just not drink, and it's like, it's whatever. I'm like, yeah, all right, good. Now let's get an 8-ball. No. Where's this drink going to go on the list? My only vice is these damned energy drinks. Rockstar Focus Orange Pineapple. It tastes tasty. It's decent. It's better than a Bang Swirly Pop. It's better than a Redcon 1 Vice City. It's better than the G Fuel Orange Vibe. It's better than the Rise Fuel Country Time Lemonade, which I'm like is good, but still kind of disappointing in some ways. It's better than Ghost Bubblicious Strawberry Splash. It's not as good as a Rockstar, or as a Monster Energy Ultra Gold. So we're somewhere in this zone. It's better than Rainstorm Peach Nectarine, but it's not better than Bucked Up Energy Gym and Juice. So there you have it. That's where it's going to go. Rockstar Focus Orange Pineapple is our new number 59. Like so. Yeah, these seem okay. But yeah, the thing with drinking with me is the idea of having a couple of drinks was always kind of pointless to me, which they say is not a good attitude to have about alcohol. But, you know, I don't know. I guess my feeling is, if you're going to drink, why wouldn't you drink? If you're going to start drinking, finish it. You know? If you're going to drink, get drunk. That's what I say. And apparently that's not, people are like, oh, just have a couple of drinks and get a light buzz going or something. I'm like, what? That just means I'll have a headache at 7:30 p.m. Is that what you want? Because that's not what I want. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. There's, you know, we got all these options here. I kind of want to. they're in the process of updating, you know, kind of the overall system and the oh, that's not right. What's going on here? Okay, there. So here we have the Amiga. And this boots up into kind of a hard drive image that people have created. Some nice folks have created that have a lot of games. So it's one big hard drive full of bad bitches. And so you can play all these cannon fodder games if you so desire. But a lot of this, some of those games are going to require a mouse, I'm sure. Castlevania for the Amiga. Apparently that's a thing. Apparently someone made a hack of it with AGA support in 2023. What does Castlevania look like on an Amiga? I bet it's not good. Oh, yeah, there he is, Simon Belmont. How do I like the Retrobit controller, this 6-button Saturn controller? It's pretty good for this specific purpose because the MiSTer will play arcade games that have 6 buttons. You know, like I pretty much only use it for that. And there are things about the button mapping on this controller that I am bummed out about, but it is still good for my needs. As a controller for the MiSTer. Wow. It's really weird to hear Castlevania music fucking filtered through Amiga tracker music. Drummer's fucking going bananas. Is this going to be up to jump because the Amiga didn't really? Yes, it is. Ah, yes. Now we're gaming. So how do I do this? Do I have to hit the space bar? No. Oh, you have to hold down the button to throw the knife. Hey! They left that in. Love these canonical Castlevania enemies here. I'm kind of into the soundtrack. Like, it's not good, but it's interesting to hear the Amiga sound hardware. To hear, like, someone's interpretation of this music as then filtered through the Amiga. Like, like the graphics almost look like a fucking bad filter. Like one of those, like, it's Eagle 2X Psy filtering for all your sprite-based games. Make them look fucking disgusting. That icon probably just turns the music off. That's right. Yes, Nova Trade did do Echo the Dolphin. Doing all the big games. Echo the Dolphin. This fucking port of Castlevania. You know what I want to do? Hang on. I'm going to have to plug some shit in real quick. We're going to play this other version of Castlevania, but I have to plug in additional hardware to get the music to play right. So hang on a sec. Okay. Let's see if this works. This core is a couple years old. It hasn't been touched in a long time. Okay, yeah. So it's going to be super fucking sketchy, huh? All right. Let me fix this. Wrong remote. Okay, hang on. I need to edit an INI file here. And I just have to copy and paste a couple of lines here and save that. And then reboot this whole thing. And now it should be more. Yeah, there we go. Good. Oh, that's not that much better. All right. Well. So yeah, some of these cores just came from authors that are not necessarily in the MiSTer scene overall, and so some of this stuff kind of doesn't get oh, let's make sure that this stuff is turned on, that the audio oh, what do I want for that? Yeah, here we go. Used MT32. Yes. Munt MT32 V1. Okay. Okay. So anyway, this core, this thing has not been touched since 2022, and that's less than ideal. But I think the author who made it went on to make some other stuff and just, hasn't touched it. And there's, it's all open source type stuff, but I don't think anyone has really gone and revisited it to bring it kind of up to date with a lot of the other cores. And so it's still a little funky. Some of these Japanese computer cores are a little funky, and also this doesn't seem like it's working properly. Yeah, that's... Darn it. Oh, I'm watching it reboot over and over again over there. The MT32 Pi, or the... It needs more power. That is the problem. I need to plug it into something else. Shit. All right, we can't actually do this. My power strip has 3 USB ports on it that deliver plenty of power, but one of them is USB-C, and I don't have the appropriate cables to plug this thing into power handy, unfortunately. So I tried plugging the USB into the MiSTer itself, and it didn't like that. It didn't like that. Let me check and see if there's a power adapter right over here. There might be one on this shelf right here. Ah! Okay. We'll see if that... All right, it booted up and is stable. Yeah, I have an external MIDI device called the MT32 Pi. It's a Raspberry Pi with a hat on it. And it basically emulates the old MT32. You could also get a MIDI adapter for the MiSTer and plug it into real external MIDI hardware, but then you're routing audio and doing all this other stuff as well. This routes it back through the same ports and whatever else. All right, this is looking better. go. No, I did not have the game set for SC55. I set it for MT32. It's a power issue. I had to plug it into better power to get it to work right. That's the problem. Thank you. Yeah, so this is like it's a fun version of the soundtrack. Witched Child. That's good spelling across the board. Moonfight. I must play a little bit of it. Apparently I did play a little bit of it. So look at that garbage ass Amiga version that we were, and this is a different game, right? It's not, that's more of a trying to be a direct port of the NES version. This is near arcade hardware, but also like this is a 68,000. So this is the same processor that's in like a Genesis, and also pretty sure it's the same one that's in an Amiga 500. Later versions of the Amiga would use more advanced versions of that. Like the 68020 or whatever. And so the Amiga hardware is not that, not that different. Well, the CPU is. I mean, the Amiga hardware is actually quite a bit different, but... Oh, boomerang. Nope, didn't make it. So, I mean, this is a machine that I find endlessly fascinating. Sometimes I want to buy one, even though getting the machine to display on anything modern, Well, now that I have this RetroTink, I imagine that probably makes it much more plausible to get it to output onto even a modern TV. But I'm almost dead. I am dead. Someone made a mini X68K and sold it. I didn't pre-order one, and now I went looking at one probably a couple months back is the last time I went and looked. And they were not super easy to find for like a reasonable price. But there is something to be said for the idea of like, oh, here's something that like was kind of built to do this, and the MiSTer core being a few years old and maybe a little clunky around the edges and stuff. I don't know. Like I want to get something that will help me understand what the machine was like to use originally, and I don't know if that mini one will actually do that. Oh, jeez. some notable games outside of this for the machine. Well, so Capcom put a lot of its stuff. So that's sort of the, you do get that situation of like, hey, here's you know, Capcom's arcade games coming to this platform like in really good shape. And so those were notable. Those were like, you know, there's a like Strider on this thing is pretty good. Maybe I'll load that up next. I think that works. But because it was basically the same CPU that Capcom was using in their arcade hardware, it's a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know how many, how much hentai is on the. Oh, well, that's interesting. I don't know how much hentai is on this thing. You know, it ain't no PC 98, but I'm sure it's got plenty. I'm sure if you ask it about the H games, it goes, "Oh man, I got plenty. I got plenty." Oh. But I don't know. The PC 98 seems like it was practically built to do that. Uh-oh. I don't have a lot of room left. That's bad. But yeah, man, the music fucking rips. I don't know. Like, I was never really a general MIDI kind of guy. You know, in my PC, in my DOS days, I had an AW32, which did wavetable synthesis, which is, you know, was very fancy at the time. Do I have to do this? Okay. Oh. Boy, I wish I had an axe or something here. That'd be handy. Very doable. Very doable fight. But yeah, having external MIDI hardware on a computer at the time was a hassle. Yeah, but for the idea of you needed to hook it up to separate speakers, or you needed to wire it into the same speakers that your digital audio was coming out of, and then you had to make sure that the volume mix was appropriate between the two things, and you know, it was annoying. The Gravis Ultrasound came out before. Look at this Tree Man. The Gravis Ultrasound came out before Creative Labs had its wavetable stuff with the AW32, and people were like, "Oh, the MIDI is so good." I'm like, yeah, it was, but I don't know. I just FM synthesis, I think, sounds pretty good too. It's a very different sound, and it's going to be personal taste, but I kind of like that stuff too. This is a little jazzy little number, huh? Just hanging out in this courtyard while these fuckers try to creeble up on us. Stop it! Very silly. Ah! Oh, and we got evil water. Good. Well, we advanced to the next stage, at least. Right? The start of stage 5 now? Oh, 7. Okay, yeah. So yeah, what else? So sometimes, yeah, like I said, we're kind of mounting fake hard drives to make this stuff work, and sometimes that's a little weird. But let's see if Strider works. Okay, this bodes well. What do you consider to be the start button? Is perhaps my question. Oh, okay. Escape is pause. There we go. Whoa. Why is the digital audio so strange? I got you. Yeah, I don't know why the audio is why that is playing back the way it is. Very terrifying. But this is a pretty good version of that Strider. Like if you're into that Strider and you had this computer, that's probably pretty cool. Certainly better than the Genesis version of the game. But yeah, this is not a perfect replication of the computer. You know, like this core kind of got. It's an impressive feat. It came along pretty quickly. Back in, God, was it 2022? It might have even been before that. But this is very funky. Very glitchy. Yeah. The glitches make it better, dude. Oh. Run, I guess. Also, this looks a little narrow. The aspect ratio on this looks a little funky, but you know. Anyway, this is running weird. But it's I don't know. This seems like a good version of the game when it's not fucking crazy. It's the best voice sample in the whole game. Is that dude saying "I gotcha"? Look at this fucking robot gorilla! Look at me blowing it up! Anyway, it's fucking running crazy, so maybe we'll do something else. I don't know. Strider, the arcade game, has never been especially interesting to me. But I think we can actually, right? I mean, this does play CPS1 stuff, so clearly, you know, there it is right there. I think when I was fixing the video output for the 68K, I might have also fixed DOS, so maybe we could go back into that real quick. The 486 core is kind of funky. Nobody has ever cleared this stage. That's a pretty good sound effect too. The "I gotcha" is real good, but that laugh at the beginning. Hang on. Attack, jump, start, coin, credits. Okay. Nope, I fucked it up again. What? This is backwards. Their labeling is also backwards. Well, now I've gone and done it. You know, wouldn't it be cool if this dude was going to all these different areas and getting key cards and okay, what if like, okay, what if you took this character and put it into a game that was sort of like DuckTales? That would be much more awesome. And that is why the NES version of Strider is the good one. The metal sound effects of you hooking on to stuff in this game are so good, though. That little ting, like all that stuff is so great. Gotta go, man. That's a pleasant noise. Die, communist scum!
Try to hit you. He will never leave Eurasia alive.
I got you.
It's the best. I gotcha. The death sound effect in this is really good too. But yeah, the 68K version of this game is probably pretty close to perfect. I mean, when it's not all glitchy and fucked up. Let's see what we can do about DOS. There we go. It's not scaling probably. It's still the text looks a little grimy. The text shouldn't look this funky, but what did I got? What did I put here? See, so like some games just don't work properly. Like One Must Fall doesn't run properly on this, which is unfortunate. TIE Fighter should work. Is that it? Okay. Thought that I would have had enough there for that to work. Considering we're running chem. But I guess not. Huh. All right, let's try we will try EMM 386 instead of chem and see if that gives us anything better here. And so yeah, you get the MT32 Pi is over there doing this music as well, which is pretty rad.
Enter your name, pilot.
It's Yoda. That's me. Let's do with the training simulator real quick. Okay, so this I'm kind of using my controller for this, but you know, who knows what the mappings are and what they're supposed to be after all these years. But I am using my analog stick to play it, which is kind of fucking awesome. Aren't I supposed to shoot those? I guess not. Oh, we've been completely stopped. Nope. Got all these views out of the ship, but... Alright, at least we're moving again. Backspace for full power. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's cool that this runs. DOSBox is really good. So it's kind of, this is like a finicky. It's sort of it's a 486. But I want to say it's like missing the math coprocessor or something. Like it's a weird version of a 486 that they have tried to emulate here, or tried to recreate rather. And so its limitations are a little strange. There are some folks are trying to make kind of an easy launch for DOS games. I just went and grabbed Stunts. That was the only one I grabbed. Now, I know everyone loves to give Don Matrick his share of shit. And look, I get you. But the man made Stunts. Full. Oh, I wonder, I hope that this is a cracked version of the game. Otherwise... Fuck hard driving. Why would you play hard driving when you got Stunts? In Stunts, you can make your own tracks. Stunts is like hard driving, but good. Because you can go to the replay and slow, you know, like slow motion your way through it and all that stuff. All jumps. Someone should make like a modern version of this. If I were a publisher, I would fund that. Uh-oh. So there was a bug in version, and I don't know if it's in every version of the game or what the deal is, but like there was a thing with stunts where once you got going a certain speed, it was like you were going illegally, like you broke the game. You were going way too fast, and you would just fly up in the air forever. Like it was just, it would break in spectacular ways. But this was one of the first games, or, you know, in the first batch of games I came into contact with when I got a PC. And I played the shit out of this game, man. Oh. We're just in the air, man. What year did I get a PC? It was 92. My first machine was a 486. I'm pretty sure, so maybe this is a situation where if we had the mouse, had a mouse hooked up, display options, change camera, there we go. And I would basically just do this. I would fucking build tracks, and then I would crash, and then I would watch the replays of the car flipping and spinning in the air in ways that were insane. But yeah, I had a good old Gateway 2000 back then. And it's a great game. That's kind of it, man. I don't know. Like I'm happy that this is working and that it's been stable, you know. The capture setup has been pretty finicky lately, and so it's nice to see it sort of working. The other weird thing about the RetroTink, I think I mentioned this last time, is that when you're doing the direct video, it doesn't automatically flip the game, the vertical games. But the RetroTink can do that, which is kind of cool. Where is that? Scaling cropping? Yeah. And it'll crop weird when we do this, but you see it's mostly working. And so for each individual game, you might have to set a crop and save a RetroTink profile and so on. And hopefully that's something that, like, the way that the MiSTer and the RetroTink can work together seems kind of magical. And in an ideal scenario, the magic would work for these vertical games and rotate it appropriately and crop it properly. That would be kind of boss. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this setup. This is working, and from as far as I can tell, it works really good with like console games too. So like PS5, I'm able to kind of leave everything turned on, variable refresh rate and 120 hertz and whatever else. Like that was always the thing I wanted to avoid. Was I didn't want to be in this scenario where if I wanted to see the games in their full glory or whatever, that I would have to disconnect it all from the capture gear and hook it up straight to the TV and mess with a bunch of cables. And so I think I have fixed that. I had to replace one of my HDMI splitters because the other one sucked and maybe broke. It just stopped working completely. I was streaming when that happened. It never worked again after that. So I had to buy a new HDMI splitter. And then after I did that, I hooked everything up and I was like, this is still kind of messed up. And it's because it's going into a capture card that is having trouble with some of these modes and options and whatever else. So at that point, I pulled the trigger on replacing the capture card as well. And now here we are. this seems like the capture. It is not as clean under the hood as I wish it was. It's a lot of cables and splitters and stuff. It's basically 2 boxes that I wish was just 1 box. That would be much cleaner, but this seems like it works. And so, thank you for indulging me in fucking with this stuff. Nice that it seems to just hold. The RetroTink won't. So the RetroTink I don't think will break HDCP. However, the box that I have does. So I have HDCP turned on my PlayStation 5, and it comes in just fine. I can capture an Apple TV if I wanted to, motherfucker. Yeah, those boxes are all over Amazon. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me here. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Yeah, like I'm glad that this seems to be functional. Right now I have it's 4 inputs, and I have the MiSTer, the PlayStation 5, the Switch, and a Shield Pro, an NVIDIA Shield Pro hooked up to it. Because I was messing around with, again, some of the just HDCP and some of the other capture stuff. And then with the RetroTink, that's got its own set of weird analog inputs. So I have like the VCR hooked up to that, and I can hook my Saturn up to it with a SCART cable. And if I get a bunch of SCART devices and had a bunch of shelving here, like all those weirdos that have like 20 consoles hooked up with all these switchers and everything, I don't want to do that. The MiSTer effectively replaces a lot of those machines. And so I don't know what consoles to bring in and hook up for real, because between emulation on the PC and the MiSTer, like it addresses a lot of those needs. But I need to find my Wii U. Now that the eShop is offline, I want to do bad stuff to my Wii U. And try out the private server stuff that's out there. I have that up and running on a 3DS, and it's not working. Like some things work great and some things don't work, and so some of that stuff is really strange. But yeah, like most of my stuff is in storage, or in the storage locker these days. The Dreamcast is still here, and my 3DO and my Saturn are still here, and I think my TurboGrafx is still here, or my PC Engine Duo R is still here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to hook up and what to not hook up, but I got all that stuff, so might as well hook some of it up. But then you get down the like rabbit hole of like, well, I need to RGB mod this console if I really want to get the best signal out of it, and then you're just like you're just spending so much time and money being insane. Especially for some of these systems that emulate so well. So I don't know. I'm going to get going. Everybody have a good rest of your Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday. We'll rank some 8-bit Nintendo games. The PowerPad setup won't be here this week. It'll be another week or so, I think, in shipping before that stuff shows up. So we'll see how all that goes. I got a bunch of DDR mats, and I can hook PlayStation controllers up to the MiSTer, and so I kind of want to, I don't know, I'm thinking about playing a little third mix, or just some DDR in general, starting with third mix, I guess. But I found I'm going through boxes in the garage, and I'm going through the big boxes, the big cardboard boxes that are full of crazy shit. I open one up, it's full of videotapes. And so that's why I've been going through all these videotapes. As I pull the videotapes out, I realize, oh, it's only half full with videotapes. What else is down here? It's 2 boxes for Dreamcast DDR mats, because I bought 2 Dreamcast DDR mats when DDR was coming out on the Dreamcast. They only put out like 2 games on it. The boxes are completely empty, because the DDR mats are somewhere else. I know where those are, but I saved empty Dreamcast DDR mat boxes and instructions. It's sick. It's a sickness. It's sick. It's disgusting. What should I even do with that? What should I even do with that? I guess I'll find the mats and put them back in the box? That seems like the sane thing to do. Should I scan them? Are there high-res scans of the Dreamcast DDR mat boxes out there already? Would that be of interest to... I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to get going. See you on Friday and we'll play some video games. Take care of yourselves. Bye.